Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. I am SquishyTheTitan, and I just got back from Comic-Con. I'm sorry I haven't posted any videos in like a week, but a lot of stuff has been going on. I was getting prepared for Comic-Con, so I had to take crazy work shifts to be able to make up for my hours. I have been working a little bit with some friends on a new channel that we may be starting up, and I'm going to be the editor for. So I've been working on that, so I haven't been able to get really too much into, I haven't been able to spend a lot of time on my own videos. But that's gonna change, and and now that I'm back from Comic-Con, that's one more thing off my plate that I have to, budget time for. But, this is sort of gonna be a vlog talking about my experience with Comic-Con this year. It was the third time I've gone, and it was the Wizard World Chicago Comic-Con. It wasn't, the San Diego Comic-Con or anything like that. But, I had a really good time. It was really fun. So, first of all, I want to talk about the souvenirs that I got, because that's what everybody really asks, or that's what everybody always, tunes into Comic-Con videos for. First of all, I got 2 shirts. I got this one, which is my Team Valor shirt, because I play Team Valor in Pokemon Go. I got this little perler bead collection. I'll show a video, or I'll show a picture of it up here. I can't really find it. I think I left it in the car, but it's the ending scene from Chrono Trigger where Chrono is carrying Marley on the balloons. And I really like Chrono Trigger, as I've stated multiple times. So now this next one requires a bit of a story. There were beer stalls in Comic-Con, and I'm 27, so I can drink. And I was walking up and down, and I got a beer at every single beer stall on the show floor. So I would, chug before I got to the next stall, and then I would get another one. Well, I had a few drinks, and I was a bit tipsy, a little bit drunk. And there was this one booth of this guy that's just very flamboyantly dressed. I didn't get a picture of him, but, long story short, I ended up buying 2 gay pirate romance books. One is called There's Seamen on the Poop Deck, and the other is called My Coxswain is Bigger Than Yours. And Paul and I got drunk and read them in our hotel room, and it was the most hilarious thing I have ever read in my life. Anyway, the next one, I got V for Vendetta, the actual comic, the graphic novel, V for Vendetta, because V for Vendetta is my favorite movie, but I've never actually read the comic, the graphic novel, so I picked that up. That was number 1 thing that I needed to buy. Also, I got a Retron, a Hyperkin Retron, because I was going in there, I wanted to get a classic console, because, I miss my Super Nintendo, I miss my N64. I got the Retron, which is a Super Nintendo... it's a Retron 2. It's a Super Nintendo and NES hybrid system, which was really cool because I was really going back and forth between Super Nintendo and N64, but this one was cheaper and it came with 2 systems. So I got a couple games with that. I got Dragon Warrior, which, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of JRPGs, as, I have that top 7 JRPG video that I made, and Dragon Warrior is the first game in the Dragon Quest series, and I played it as a kid and I really liked it. I got Metroid because I've never actually played the first Metroid game. I've only played Super Metroid and Metroid Prime series, so I got that one, and I got the Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt 2-in-1 cartridge, and I had that as a kid. God damn, I'm hiccuping. I got that as a kid, or I had that as a kid, and I played it a lot. So, yeah, we ended up playing that mostly, because we got drunk and just kept playing Mario, the first Mario, which is brutal. There was a lot of drinking at this convention, but drink responsibly if you go to these things. We did not. I also got Draken, which is something that I used to play with my brother. It's a sort of it's a very obscure RPG. for the Super Nintendo, that's really weird. It's mostly like first person, and then when you have anything to interact with, you go into a third person mode where you can control each character. It's really weird, but I really liked it as a kid. I don't know if I'll like it now, but who knows? It was $5. Next on, that's all that I got for souvenirs. The next portion, cosplays. We saw a lot of really good cosplays. And then, like, we saw, a lot of gender swap cosplays. We saw a Dude Misty, which was really funny. We just saw a lot of really good cosplays. I can't really even begin to name them all. And then we saw a lot of Suicide Squad Harley Quinns. And I decided, before going into this, I was just like, hey, let's take a shot for every time we see a Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. We would not have survived. An elephant would not have survived. And I'm just sitting there like, wow, Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. Don't see many of those. You're so original. Disclaimer, I don't like Zack Snyder. I liked 300, I liked Watchmen, but I don't like what Zack Snyder is doing with the DC universe. So Suicide Squad can go fuck right off. Same with Batman v Superman. Fight me, bro! But, anyway, next we went to the gaming area. There's always a gaming area at Chicago Comic-Con. I'm not sure if there is for San Diego, I've never been there. But, the gaming area that we went to, we got to play Tekken 7, If any of you know me personally, you know that back in the day, before I started doing YouTube and before a lot of this stuff, I was actually very, very big into the competitive fighting game series, or competitive fighting game scene. I used to go to Mortal Kombat tournaments, I went to Tekken tournaments, I went to Super Smash Brothers tournaments. I used to do a bunch of tournaments for fighting games, because I used to be really good at them. Now, not so much because I play other types of games. But we got to play Tekken 7, and I was always dreading Tekken 7 because they removed a lot of the characters, and everything I saw with, like, ultimate moves, it didn't look like Tekken. But after sitting down and playing it, yeah, it's still kind of unforgivable for removing a lot of my favorite characters, like Lei Wulong, who was just awesome to play with, because you would, like, just lay down. He was very trolly to play with, and I loved it. It was so much fun. I would never take him into a character, because he's kind of low tier, or I would never take him into a tournament, because he's a kind of low tier character, but, he's just so much fun to play with when you're with friends or something, and they, so far, have gotten rid of him, and it makes me really, really mad. But yeah, it's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. The ultimate attacks are implemented really well. I'm not sure if you can block them. I haven't seen anybody block them so far, but I hope you can, because otherwise that's just broken. I also got to play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Dragon Ball Xenoverse, I think, is one of the sleeper hits that really came out in 2014 or 2015. But it was really fun. It was probably the best Dragon Ball game that I ever played. And I played Raging Blast. I played Budokai. I played all those games. But Xenoverse was just the one that was just more like really balanced and just really fun to play. But I always had the problem with the first Xenoverse that the matches weren't long enough. I mean, you could just spam ultimates and it would be over in like 20 seconds. But Xenoverse 2, it looks like that has actually been remedied. The matches are much, much longer. You have 2 health bars instead of 1 now. So if they can make the matches just quite a bit longer than Xenoverse 1, I think it'll be a lot better and a lot more fun. That's really all we played in the gaming area. I played some Super Smash Bros. 4 for a bit. I wrecked some kids. I didn't play in the tournament, but yeah, that's all I had for the gaming area. Next, I got to meet some people. I got to meet John Bailey, the voice of, or the epic voice guy from Honest Trailers. He was really cool. And I got to meet Tamara Chambers, which was a really special meetup for me, because I love Nostalgia Critic. I've been watching since 2007. He's one of the OG, like, comedy review people. And I have the biggest crush on Tamara Chambers. Like, she is my future wife. Hopefully. But she was just an absolute sweetheart. And last year I met, Doug and Malcolm from Nostalgia Critic. They were really cool. Doug, sat there and talked to me about movies, or talked with me about movies for, a while he was doing, signings and pictures. He was really cool. He gave me some tips. He taught me a lot of this, or he gave me some tips, a lot of the stuff that I know now with Premiere Pro. But they were all, super, absolute sweethearts. They have no business being as nice as they are, but they really are some of the nicest people I've ever met. And yeah, I'm meeting Tamara, and I'm just sitting there hey, Tamara, can I get a picture? And she wasn't there as, a guest or anything, or part of the panels. She actually bought the ticket, and she was there as a, patron. She was there as, just, someone who just bought a ticket, like me, or Paul. And it was kind of funny, because, I went up and I was just can I get a picture? And she's just yeah, sure, and, threw her arm around me, and I'm just sitting there oh my god, she's so pretty. But, because I'm awkward as shit. So yeah, that was an experience, and that was really fun. Next, I got to go to a bunch of panels. I went to the Honest Trailers panel. They showed us a, Honest trailer that has not been released, or that had never been released. They showed us a lot of outtakes from the Deadpool trailers, just a lot of the Honest trailers that they did. They showed outtakes, and we got to see the next Honest trailer that's coming out. And I cannot tell you what it is, but I can tell you it's really funny. It's really good. And we got to, again, there was a lot of John Bailey was there. Andy Signore was there. Dan Murr, I forgot his name. Anyway, but yeah, they were all there, and it was really fun. We got to see Bruce Campbell, who is absolutely hilarious in his asshole way that he is. I'm not saying anything bad about him. He has a personality where he heckles you. That's probably the best way, is whenever you're asking a question, he heckles you a little bit. He gives you shit. But he was really cool. John Barrowman was the funniest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. And he always is. That's the second time I've seen him at Comic-Con, and he was just an absolute riot the entire time. John Barrowman from Arrow and Doctor Who and Torchwood. We also saw the Daredevil panel, which was really cool. I never knew that Charlie Cox is British. That was weird, but yeah, it was just weird to hear him coming out, hear Matt Murdock coming out and talking in a thick British accent. But that was really cool. There was a lot of Rosario Dawson was hilarious. She was a riot. She was super sarcastic. God damn it! Next, we also saw the Jason David Frank panel. We've seen him every year that we've gone, so this was the third time we've seen him. And it was a little bit weird. He was far less ADD than he has been in the past. The first year we saw him, he was just all over the place. There was a kid stuttering on a question, and he was just hey, look what I can do! And he started beatboxing, and he called up, what's his name? Johnny Young Bosch, and they were talking about the times they were fucking around on the Power Rangers set, how Johnny was climbing a tree, and he called him on his phone and was holding it up to the microphone, and he was just really ADD, and it was really funny and really fun to watch. This time he was just very straightforward. It was weird. So that was fun. But the highlight of that part was right after his panel, I went into the bathroom, and I'm sitting there at the urinal, and he walks in, and he takes the urinal right next to me, and I'm just sitting there oh my god, I am peeing next to Jason David Frank. My wiener is in my hand in close proximity to the Green Ranger with his wiener in his hand. So, that was interesting. No, I did not look. Don't even ask. I've already had a couple people asking me if I looked what his stream sounded like, and, if his wiener was big. But I didn't look, and I didn't really think that I would... I didn't think it would be a good idea to look at the wiener of an MMA fighter who probably wouldn't appreciate it and would retaliate with a punch to my face. Think about this, guys. And then finally, the biggest announcement that I have was I was a part of movie fights for the Screen Junkies panel. The day after the Honest Trailers panel, they had a movie fight live, and I got to be a part of it. So, for copyright reasons, I can't really show the video with sound, but I have a little clip of the video I'm gonna put right here. And, but what it was basically, if you haven't seen movie fights, they pick a topic and two competitors debate about it. So, it was really cool. The topic that I got to, debate against Kenny, who was the producer of, Screen Junkies, and he's the Star Wars fanatic, so I got to, battle him on Star Wars, which was a fucking daunting task. But basically, the topic that we were arguing about was who did more damage to the Star Wars franchise? Jar Jar Binks or Hayden Christensen? I was arguing that Hayden Christensen did more damage. And the surprising fucking thing is that I actually won. It was by fan vote, and it was really, really cool. But, like, I was shaking up there. I was super excited, like, yelling, going all into my argument. And the fans actually voted that I won. Which is probably one of the best things that I could ever say is, yeah, I beat a Screen Junkie. I beat one of the Screen Junkies crew in a film debate. Fuck yeah, I'm smart. But, I ended up getting fucking demolished in the second round by Dan. Cause, it was, based on, what was the best Bill Murray film. And the only film that I've seen in the past, 5-10 years is Ghostbusters. So that's the only one that I could really argue. And he went with Groundhog Day, which is obviously, the easy choice for that topic. So that's my Comic-Con experience. It was really fun. And it's probably one of the best cons I've ever been to. I'd say that Comic-Con my first year still has to go with the best, just because I was not prepared for that, and it was very overwhelmingly awesome. But it was really fun, and now I'm going to get back to doing more videos. So thank you all so much for watching. As always, leave a like down below, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends about me. I am SquishyTheTitan, and you have a damn nice day. Bye! We are the image of the invincible! You like classic-style JRPGs? Do you want a story that's going to kick your heart in the balls? If you answered yes, pick up Lost Odyssey. Another classic-style JRPG from Mistwalker. The game is similar to Blue Dragon, but it also adds some depth in that you have to manage your party's position in battle. Tank your character